Well, the first returns are coming in on the WNBA All-Star voting. Of course, it will be in Indianapolis. And as you can imagine, Caitlin Clark is leading the All-Star vote. By the way, it looks like a massive turn.
Angel Reese was hyped up as the new face of the WNBA. So why didn't she even make the top 10 in All-Star voting, despite all the media buzz? Her numbers just didn't deliver. She's shooting a rough 30.9% from the field, one of the worst percentages among qualified players. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark dominated the vote count, racking up over 515,000 fan votes and leaving Angel Reese in the dust. Be honest.
Second straight year that Clark has led the fan voting. She was second in early returns in fan voting in 2024, but jumped to first with around 700,000 total votes by the end of the period. So I'm wondering, are we going to see 1 million votes this time? Because I saw somebody earlier that said, so far, voting is actually way up versus exactly where we was at this time.
Why are fans making their voices heard through their remotes, not the media hype? If you saw this coming, drop a comment. Did you already guess where Angel Reese would land before the votes came out? She's been everywhere lately, from national ads to viral social media clips. The WNBA has pushed her as the face of the league, but clearly, the fans have other ideas.
Myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths, the deception of deception. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
The media didn't just report on Angel Reese, they elevated her. Major outlets like Forbes labeled her, alongside Aya Wilson, as the face driving the WNBA's rise. Some went as far as completely ignoring Caitlin Clark, even while Clark was lighting up the scoreboard and breaking records night after night. The message was loud and clear. Reese was the chosen star. She landed huge endorsement deals, appeared in national commercials, and her story flooded every platform, from sports shows to primetime news.
Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism. Of course, the vast majority of her followers are bots and lonely men, most of which are not buying tickets or watching her games on television because they can't afford the 5 pesos a month to watch the Chicago Bravado on WNBA League.
And still, the WNBA's official channels kept hyping her up, sharing her college highlights, and placing her front and center in interviews that framed her as the league's next breakout star. Everything was lined up for Angel Reese to explode into superstardom. And it wasn't just the league or corporate sponsors pushing the narrative. Angel herself embraced the spotlight, telling reporters she's the reason fans are watching and that her legacy is already being written.
We're talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because
Angel Reese's outspoken attitude made for headline gold, and the media ate it up. She wasn't just promoted as a basketball player. She was pushed as a cultural icon, a bold new symbol for the future of women's hoops. But when the All-Star vote results came in, the numbers told a completely different story. Despite all the spotlight, all the media attention, and all the marketing, Reese didn't even break the top 10. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark wasn't just included. She was leading the pack with a jaw-dropping 516,000 votes. That's not just a difference, that's a massive statement. Fans are tuning in, paying attention, and clearly making up their own minds. And more, their choices are rewriting the narrative.
And there's a supposed, people keep telling me, supposed second most popular player in the league that doesn't look like the second most popular player at all. And in fact, a rookie I have been touting that is playing better than Angel Reese, Kiki Arifin. Well, basketball fans are showing up, and they have got her voted ahead of Angel right now. Angel is not in the top.
So why didn't all that media hype turn into real fan support? For every flattering headline about Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark was out there earning attention, dropping performances that couldn't be ignored. Clark let her game do the talking, while Reese's rise felt more tied to reputation and the carefully crafted story built around her. Sure, the buzz was loud, but the emotional connection with fans? It just wasn't as deep as the media tried to make it seem. Take that Forbes article, for example. They spotlighted Reese as the face of the league's growth, completely leaving out Clark's massive influence. But fans aren't blind. They're watching the games. They see who shows up, and their votes prove it.
To Forbes, Caitlin Clark is not responsible for elevating this turd into the mainstream. The ladies responsible for elevating the WNBA are Angel Reese and the unknown face of the Las Vegas Anonymous face.
This gap between the media's version of a story and what fans actually vote for, it runs deeper than just basketball. It's about trust. When the hype feels forced or manufactured, fans notice. They're not looking for a PR campaign. They want players who earn their spotlight, not ones who are handed it because of branding. And the All-Star vote totals say it all. Despite all the media push, all the features, and all the commercials, Angel Reese still couldn't crack the top 10.
Tell you where Angel Reese's place is, well, it's 13th place. And I can tell you right now, Jonquel Jones ought to be ahead.
So what's really going on here? Is this just a case of hype not matching reality? Or is there something in Angel Reese's actual game that's not clicking with fans? She's got the big endorsements. She's making headlines. But when it comes to what really matters, performance on the court, the numbers paint a different picture. And that's where things get interesting. It's time to break down the stat sheet and see what Angel Reese's rookie season really looks like, and whether the All-Star buzz is backed up by her play. Yes, she's known for her rebounding. But what happens when you zoom out and look at the whole picture?
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion.
Let's start with her shooting. Angel Reese is knocking down just 30.9% of her shots, the second worst mark out of 64 qualified WNBA players through her first 7 games. And for a post player, that's a serious red flag. Bigs are expected to be efficient close to the hoop, scoring on high percentage looks. But when you're missing over 2/3 of your shots right at the rim, it's tough to justify any talk of all-star status.
There is obviously no way Angel can compare to Caitlin Clark as a shooter or a passer. And there is no way Angel can live up to her dynamic social media / podcast presence as a shooter or a passer or even a shot blocker. She's blocked only 2 shots so far this season. She doesn't even do that.
One analyst didn't hold back, calling her 4 for her 12 performance against the Indiana Fever in a game where Caitlin Clark wasn't even on the court, laughably bad. That's not the kind of showing that fires up fans or earns respect across the league. Sure, Angel Reese brings energy, but energy alone doesn't win games. And it definitely doesn't earn all-star votes.
She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else. She has nothing. She's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball.
Now you might be saying, but she leads the league in rebounds. And you're right. Angel Reese's hustle and ability to crash the boards are undeniable. She's got a real talent for fighting through traffic and cleaning up missed shots. And that part of her game is legit. But even with all that rebounding, her struggles on offense are impossible to overlook. In today's WNBA, teams need more than just effort. They need versatility. Scoring matters. Efficiency matters. And when you're ranked 63rd out of 64 in field goal percentage, well, that pretty much says it all.
Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
Let's stack her up against a few of the top forwards. Aaliyah Boston, who pulled in around 447,000 All-Star votes, isn't just a rebounder. She scores efficiently, defends at a high level, and impacts the game on both ends of the floor. Then there's another standout forward putting up a double-double and earning over 213,000 votes, proving that fans pay attention to players who bring a complete game. These athletes don't just dominate one category. They fill up the entire box score. And that's the difference. That's what separates true all-stars from players who only shine in one area.
7, 8, 9 on the list are Kelsey Mitchell, Sabrina Ionescu, and Lexington Hull. The following 3 are Kiki Arayafin, Kelsey the Plumber, and Satu Sabali? You mean to tell me These unknowns are ranked ahead of the face of the league.
Even when you highlight Angel Reese's strengths, it's impossible to ignore the flaws. Analysts have credited her for her instincts, her hustle, and the way she battles for position under the rim. But they've also made one thing clear: rebounding alone doesn't carry a team. It doesn't justify all-star buzz. This league is stacked with players who contribute across the board, scoring, defending, passing. And that's exactly what fans want to see. Right now, Reese's stats tell the story of a player still trying to find that full balance. And until she does, her overall impact is going to stay limited. The numbers don't lie.